A very good morning to ladies and gentlemen. Selamat datang ke Gunung Kinabalu. Welcome to one of the iconic landmarks of Malaysia, Mount Kinabalu. My name is Ivan, an experienced licensed tour guide to have a wonderful journey with all of you to one of the unique places in Southeast Asia. Before I move into an introduction of this mountain, I believe that most of you have heard about this mountain before, although all of you have never had a real visit here before. The most stunning part of Mount Kinabalu is in the rank of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every Sabahan feels really proud as Mount Kinabalu brings the important significance to them instead of just being a natural landmark that represents Sabah. First of all, Mount Kinabalu is the highest peak in Southeast Asia with 4,095 meters above sea level between Himalayas and New Guinea. It is not just a mountain with hiking, but also known as a living museum for its biodiversity hotspot. Today, we are going to explore its geography, history, ecology, and cultural significance. By the end of this trip, I hope all of you can understand the specialization of Mount Kinabalu for both Malaysia and the world. If all of you are well prepared, let us begin the tour. I would like to explain briefly with all of you about geography. Mount Kinabalu, located in the state of Sabah, Borneo Island. To be more accurate, the location of Mount Kinabalu sits in Kinabalu Park, which is 90 kilometers away from the center of Kota Kinabalu, the capital of Sabah. The area of the park is absolutely 754 square kilometers, roughly bigger than the size of a developed country in Southeast Asia, Singapore. You can easily see the mountain towering on the land of northern Borneo Island. On a clear day, you can see the majestic peaks during the thaw amidst the clouds. Besides that, the climate is warm and humid at the base with a temperature around 25 Celsius, but at the top of the mountain, the temperature can go very low and it is almost freezing. The diversification of climate has explained why Mount Kinabalu can support a rich variety of species. Now, you may be curious, why Mount Kinabalu appears in Borneo Island? So, let us investigate on the beneath surface of Mount Kinabalu how it forms. According to geologists, they have explained about 10 to 15 million years ago, the molten rocks from underground have flown into crust of Borneo Island. After this molten have cooled down, it gradually becomes a huge block of granite. After the soft rock have been eroded by the rain and some have been blown away by the wind, they saw rocks that are unable to erode become the mountains that appeared in front of our eyes, Mount Kinabalu. Now, you will be surprised that it is still growing. The geologists predict that it will grow within 5 millimeters every year. Even all of us are unable to see and feel that it is moving, but the geologists can keep an eye on how fast enough that the mountain is growing. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake in 2015 occurred in the region, affecting the environment with natural disasters such as landslide and the tragedy of casualty. But Mount Kinabalu is still living without any influence. It is a miracle in geology to somehow, when you are standing on the peak that is literally the rocks which have been made for millions of years in Mount Kinabalu, a representative work of geology. After hearing about the geology of Mount Kinabalu, I am sure most of you are amazed with this mystical mountain, but this mystical part never ends. Let us explore further. Then, I would like to talk more about the biodiversity and cultural significance of Mount Kinabalu. Instead of just the highest peak in Southeast Asia, Mount Kinabalu is also known as a living museum for its biodiversity hotspots. For biodiversity, there are over 6,000 species of plants, over 300 species of birds, and more than 100 species of mammals. Mount Kinabalu is one of the biodiversity hotspots that rarely seen in Malaysia. Admired at the unique species, one of the highlights of this mountain is the Nepenthes Raja, the largest feature plant in the world. The features of Nepenthes Raja are its huge jug shape, which can bear almost 2 liters of water and even catch the small insect or animals such as frogs or dragonflies. Another highlight of this mountain is the red flower, also known as the largest flower in the world, Rafflesia. The feature of Rafflesia is its smell like a rotten corpse that attracts the fly to spread pollen. Animal life here is also actually interesting. You can watch the animals on Mount Kinabalu, such as the mountain shrew, the Kinabalu giant red leech, or the Kinabalu giant red earthworm. If you are lucky enough, you can also watch national animal of Sabah, orangutan. Apart from that, Mount Kinabalu has its unique cultural significance. Let me share with you all the story of Mount Kinabalu. The local Kadazan Dusun people call Mount Kinabalu as Kinabalu, the river place of death, also the final resting place for the spirit of their ancestors. The local people believe that at the summit of Mount Kinabalu, they have a dragon is guiding a magical pier that is located at the summit. A brave prince from China come here to steal the pier. After he left the mountain, the dragon realized that the pier had disappeared, which makes it angry. Then it roared and caused the shaking on the mountain. That is the word Kinabalu come from. But some other local versions said that it is originated from the words Kinabalu, which means Chinese widow. Before we start our journey, I would like to explain briefly about some important rules of hiking at Mount Kinabalu. As mentioned just now, Mount Kinabalu is one of the highest peaks in Southeast Asia. We need to hike about 8.7 kilometers from the trail to top. The journey has been divided into 2 parts. The first part is from Timpohon Gate to Laban Rata, which is about 6 kilometers. That also we will be staying overnight. The following part is from Laban Rata to Low Peak, which is about 2.7 kilometers. That also be the final journey that we will continue tomorrow morning. Along the journey, you will see a variety of plants, as I mentioned just now, including the biggest flower, which is famous all over the world, Rafflesia. The whole climbing journey takes about 2 days, 1 night. I would like to remind all of you, it is not an easy climbing path of Mount Kinabalu. The air at Mount Kinabalu is thin, the temperature is very low, and the stairs are cliffy. That is why the local authority have limited the number of hikers to go hiking per day. You may ask, if I am not going to climb, what can I do? No worry, there are many natural places inside Kinabalu parks, such as Botanical Garden, Canopy Walk, the hot spring area, nearby quarry, and the local guide will provide an explanation on the ecology of Kinabalu Park. However, the population has brought pressure to Mount Kinabalu. This can lead to the issue of over-tourism. For example, the tourist behavior can bring negative impacts such as littering, habitat disturbance. Climate change has also caused a serious threat to the mountain. Scientists have proved that as the temperature is getting warmer, some plants are gradually growing higher up the mountain. This phenomenon has led the survival space of the animals and other plants become smaller until they must move to another space to survive as their habitat has been occupied. Luckily, the place is managed by Sabah Park, a local authority which is very strict on the rules of climbing permits, waste management, and scientific research. The tourism industry is focusing on sustainable tourism that reminds the tourists to care on the mountain as a living ecosystem, not just a photo check-in place. Other than science and tourism, Mount Kinabalu is a symbol that represents nature. The mountain has been shown on the back of Malaysian 1 ringgit note. It represents strength, resilience, and unity for all Malaysians. Climbing Mount Kinabalu is an unforgettable and meaningful experience. Some of the people look for hiking at Mount Kinabalu is adventurous, personal, or spiritual reasons. Whatever reason they go for hiking at Mount Kinabalu, most of them say they feel humble standing at the peak that connects between the sky, earth, and spirit. Realize that the human is very small in compare with the strength of nature. Time flies. We have come to the end of the climbing journey on Mount Kinabalu. I am sure that most of you have gained a lot of valuable experience instead of just hiking. Let us reflect on the day hiking process. Mount Kinabalu is more than a mountain with cultural significance, biodiversity hotspots, sustainability, and cultural heritage site. Thus, it represents the people and nature. It has also mixed with science and the spirit of human, emphasize on the stamina and respect. Thank you for joining me today, and don't forget to stop by the souvenir shop for your I Survived Kinabalu t-shirt. Safe travel, everyone!
You have to watch it.
No.